Paenga o LETIO VAKE TALI FOLAU. Ai whakawhehokotaki anga o Tonga I he kolope. This is Radio VAKE TALI FOLAU, where Tongans can connect globally. say, talo falava, in New Zealand they say, kia ora oe, in Hawaii they say, aloha oe, but in America, a happy, happy, happy day, fia fia, fia fia, fia fia maupe. In Tonga they say, malolele, in Fiji they say, pura vinaka, in Samoa they say, talo falava, in New Zealand they say, kia ora oe, in Hawaii they say, aloha oe, but in America, the happy, happy day, fia fia, fia fia, fia fia maupe. Awe, awe, te vai le tahiti, whakalame tāna oe, alomi lomi e. Awe, awe, te vai le tahiti, whakalame tāna oe, alomi lomi e. Tahiti nu, ia te whare aue, taua erea. Mama, ia te uri aue, pea te urua. Aue, aue, aue o ie. Aue la o iau, mama e. Aue la o iau,
Yo from San Francisco, Malamola Maria Veki, Hamana Pole. Hawhewhikau sola me vulanga da vemo, a hia vaenga vake ta flau, da rau be he ata re o be foki ki he e rau application, whika tal apo, website i, be ke motoro mo mea mai I he Facebook, be mo YouTube, Emily.
Pe kore be mua ke mahu whanga te ngai whaitapu tau pe, wha whake ngalu e apa mo ngalu pe, ka tāmbuk maua ke ma whahok whatongi atu ma ki mo tolu I he howani. Whamaloa I pe heni ki a whaiwhikau mo I fohe pe mo e saione e vake tari whalau e ka mata mai tau prokalama ak e tau lotu. Whamaloa whokeni ki a Malavina, ka atoa whahoko mai tau prokalama koe me Euless, Texas, koe nene whahoko mai e tau breakfast show. Whatawange pe utoka maari e mea kotoa, whatawange pe o kulelei e mea kotoa, pe me apina pe ko ngawe anga pe ko fe pe fe tu o ke me amai pe me ai he tau fa feta ko tau pe ke ki ko hi ko ene tau la mahao fai ke tau mo ui o tau to ya usia mai ai pongpongi fo o ka ko aho faka osi o mahina ko sune ko tau wa o mai eni ke aho faka osi o mahina ko sune pe ko aho faka osi fo kieni o ulaki mahina e ono e tau fononga ia mai o tau wanoa ko ai o ku tau whafta ko tau peke ki ko higo ne tau la mahao whai ki tau mo ui o tau sia mai ai ahoni. Ko ho wani pe mo tau whakahoko whatongi at me LETIO VAKE tau flau e kamata pe o te tau whanki o ngongo. Ko tui ko tukunga o kia e COVID-19 e tai mine o toi tu he tuunga whakatu tā maki au pito pe a koi ai e whai haki pō tala noa. Whikau aki pe mo COVID-19, mo tau whi whakamanatu aki pe ai mahu inga ke tau whaka ehi pe mi he maha ki whakaauka koe ni. Tau manatu I mau pe koe maha ki whakaauka ni o ku tau lolotonga whanonga ia I he ngai ahoni I he mama koe ni. Pe a kui kai te eki ai ki hana whaito. Koe ai te tau wakai ke tau whangaki I o ngongo koe ia, mo tau whepotara no. Ak mau inga pe ke tau whi whakaloto lahi aki. I he taimi whainga taa koe ni, tau te whito ke te tau tolu whapaia I he whanuani. Koe hoko to tonu ai taha wā, pe koe ofki ai, e la vai ke whai e tau pōtala noa pe a mo Brian Terrell Landing Company, ko ki nau tolu whoki o ku nau lava ke nau toko ni I ki mō tolu, I he ngai mea whaka api, pe koe whatau whima whatau hau api California. Koe ai, te tau ki I wakai lolo tonga koe ni e pandemic, na au kia haki I whaunga whai ngofua ia, pe au kia whaunga o toi whakangofua mai ai ki tau tolu, ke whatau lewa hatau api he taimi whainga taa koe ni, ka ko Brian Terrell Landing Company, te tau whepotara noa aki mo ia, pe me he taha wā ki he taha pe of ki ai. Ho to tonu ko ia ai taha, te tau mawai ai pe mok maua ko hui ko ki I whatongia o kanga mai me he, ka I he taimi ko ia e hoko atua ia Texas. Ko Texas te nau whai whatongia e hoko mai ko ia maua, os ko ia Texas I he taimi nima te tau hoko ato ai bea mo e whaiwhatongia bea me Seattle, Washington, bea me le seini sika, kai o mai kau whaiwhatongia me Seattle, Washington, o au ke walu, koe walu he whiawhinta whok mai ai San Francisco, ke tātaha apo te tau wha osi ai ki Hawaii. Ai a koe tau polo kalama ia koe i he ahoni, aha whaka osi o e mahina ko sune, ka tau laka atu ki siulai pia mo hifonga o e tau ai au kamata ia a pompong. Ledio Vake Tali Folau tau tai mi ose minite ua taha pia me he tataha me San Francisco, California. Pia koe ia tu mua heni ke o tatau ki fo i fasi. Ka mo tolu ko tau pia mo mu amai ke painga Vake Tali Folau. Ate faskoni ate maa. Good morning e tatafu waiangina ka ma e.
Mala wita me li ki mo ate fasi tu mo tau wakai whamatala ia vavebe pe tau kose pe tau fasi.
Koe ia.
Ledio Vake Tali Folau tau tai mi o se mi o fuma o me he tataha me San Francisco, tau main station ia i California, Pacific Time in tau talanoa ai. Pe a koe tōkua i he taini miu ha mai me li lala le o pito San Francisco ki he fuma fitu noa that is Fahrenheit te ki mawhanang ia East Palo Alto ki fitu fuma fitu Santa Clara to alua ke to mawhanang ki palo fuma fa pe kamata pe ke ta ongo i ta koe sama ni koe anga meri i he taim tana we tau hika pe koloko angelo ke fitu fuma tolu o koni ke no fuma ta halala are rei ko tonga state ko ni kawa i pe Moreno ki he fitu fuma tolu Salt Lake City oku nau ke istaka pe i he winter ko ia nau i he nima fuma fitu na to i he honi au fia vin he foki ki Seattle, Washington na mahanga loa na i he fua ko ni nima fuma fitu fua mafana Carolinas ta whakawha i si te nia ai ta wesi te ai a wea i koia ka meri ke matu i ko whea wesi te sau te no te pe mo no is no sau kai ke mahalo pe mahino ka meri e tai nimi pe a ko tōko i tai nimi toi ki mawhana te whakawha i si te i North Carolina walu fuma walu ta kolose pe ki Phoenix ki he hewang fuma tolu ai a oku la rei a Phoenix pe ke Texas na ko Texasi pe a mo Phoenix o una fo i bena vela taha. Mai no pe wini ma pe Phoenix ka ko Texas ki he hiva noa i tai nimi. New York ke fino fuma nima a fia New York i tai nimi pe ki Alaska uha pe Alaska o ka mo tomo sore ki o mau ke winter pe matoria ki he fang fuma no Alaska i he tai nimi ya. Pe de au close pe ki he Hula State ko ia ki lo fe tu fe Hula State me i ve sorry ko Hula State tu Tahiti pe ko Aloha State tu ia i Hawaii ai da close pe ki Hawaii ki he ono fuma malu ai fo ma fana i he tainimi ki kahului toi ki mawhana nge ki wang fuma ta tau kolose pe ke ot moto ang afa kaila mani o top tap ko mang taimi o se mi te o fuma fa mi he fitu pe ko ia good morning ki motor ko pe me tonga ki ka oku tu ko ni tainimi hang ka te o ki mana o ko ki ilo pe ko e mana ko ni ko te ki he uhalahi ka ko hange pe ia taimi ko ki fepake e ma fana mo e ave lampe te na ki ko kai ke ai ko tu ai mi osi wani ma me fitu pong i ni wa tap tapu ia ki fino fuma hiwa ni wa tap ni wa fo la le ki fino fuma hiwa wa o ki he fino fuma ni ma pe ku kau wa ia i he mana fatorisi kai hangange be ka te e uha a feva fino fuma tolu no mo ka fino fuma tolu tonga eki ki he fito ngo fuma tolu be tau kai ka ni Australia na ke mo he ma fana be tai nimi ki he fang fuma valu Hamilton ki tong fuma fito osi amini de wani ma me he valu pompong ke os a mai pe mo no sila amini ta hokot ke ta foi fasi pero to ki kolosi mai malo tau ki kolose ki Fisi ki Daniel Costello Cry and Ocean we are ocean here ocean there ocean here
answer ready my next move. I was looking out beyond the scene.
Kare mo share
All my
share da
dreams
boka.
had my attention. You were standing next to me. Never really comprehended living life as one big ride. Idolizing this one, looking at the next one. All the time you were by my side. Unselfishly devoted to my demise. You would always be there to my surprise. Never understood how you compromised. Many years went by till I realized unconditional love was at my doorstep, knocking at my heart with hidden tears. Self-centered and never understanding. I was blind through all those years. Island girl, my love, you cried an ocean over me. Island girl, you drowned in the sea of emotion over me. Injecting pride, causing me to stumble, waiting for the dreams that would not come. Licking my wounds, feeling sorry for myself, marching to a beat of a different drum. Looking back now, everything's so clear. The void has created an empty heart. I should have known right from the start that you loving me was the hardest part. Island girl, my love, you cried an ocean over me. Island girl, you drowned in the sea of emotion over me. Island girl, my love, you cried an ocean over me. Island girl, you drowned in the sea of emotion over me. Island girl, my love, you cried an ocean over me. Island girl, you drowned in the sea of emotion.
Letio VAKE TALI FOLAU o se minite o fumahiwa mehe o fumata. Kage koe ki pukalama koe hani ki no pe koe ngā koe ki appointment. Ka i he time te rau pe melina e whai ki tohi mai Facebook a. Ka kou ila pa koe ko Zuckerberg. Ka kou ila pa koe taha pe o kau ngā oe Facebook. Ai o nau tala mai e pehe mai. E VAKE TALI FOLAU, you guys did such a good job. Now you guys can start earning some money through Facebook. Go pay. So what is the trick? Can you te lava o vahe mai meri?
Modol ko ya og mo i he Facebook.
Kaya.
Kapag te ke
Hai
vakai
manu o
hifo.
falahia tu ka mo musimo.
Wakai fuke ta faaki ko o ko ke
lele.
lava o
Fine.
comment ai. I go write a comment ilala on the bottom o besi.
Kaya.
O gai ki fo istala no ngenga he ta faaki to o mata o.
Kaya.
Ki fo istala no ngenga patok asle vai thumb up pe ko fanga ki hati. Ai go fo istala no ngenga ko ya.
Kaya.
Kapag te ke click ai te ke lava to ko ni ai he Letio VAKE TALI FOLAU. Pe ko ho to ko ni o kuanga pehen. Te ke lava o click ai pe ke osko ya o kuhanga he e a te ke lava lewa whakatau a stars. Ai a ko tuko te mininga special ko stars se ni te hiva ki fo star e te au ni manoa. Ai ko fo
Okay.
star ko te au ni manoa ko ya. Ko fo star ko toa pe e taha.
Kaia.
E mauai a se ni te taha le tio wake tai folau. Aga fo star go te au ni manoa, e mauai pa anga taha sente ni manoa a le tio wake tai folau. Aia go star aia.
Se te hiva fo star te au ni manoa.
Koia, se te hiva fo star te au ni manoa.
Okay.
Ka go te whakatau e kita me Facebook. Ka go fo star te au ni manoa ko ia, e mauai he le tio wake tai folau e pa anga taha sente ni manoa. Pangataha sende ni manoa. Ko ia e Alisi Irene Fifita, ko pau te ke wakai ke ta whaaki to o mata.
Something I'm missing. Ka pau e whatau ta pehepe ko Ailini, whatau e whistate au ni manoa.
Seni te hiwe hiwa.
Ihe sente hiwe hiwa.
Ko ia.
So what does he do to star?
Tene hanga senti mai, o aslelei pea.
E te ne whawipika te eka koe.
Iyo, te hanga pe ko seni mai whistate au ni manoa ko ia. Pe ko whistate ni manoa, te ke whiri pe e koe.
O ka pau te ne mai whistate ni manoa ko ia ki e wake te whalau. Ko whiha wake te hoa maua.
A whistate au ni manoa, pangataha sende ni manoa. Pangataha seni te ni manoa.
Ai au kai kase ni te au ki Facebook?
Ko in whakatau ko star. I go send it to hiva out here Facebook. It's like you're buying the stars. Aga pa ko Facebook aga sion. Ko tu eki mahi no anga ko tu ke to fokio ka ki I vave mai.
I need to
Okay, ka pa ko Facebook aga ko te whakatau e au me a ko send it a fo star te au ni manoa.
Okay.
Ai au ke ma we ko send it te hiva.
Okay.
Pe te hanga leva e au o post mai fo istago ia he best a LETIO VAKE TALI FOLAU.
Okay.
Ai go fo istago te au ni manoa go te ke whakatau sen te hiva mea koe. E mao he LETIO VAKE TALI FOLAU e pa anga taha seni te ni manoa. I buy the star from you. I buy 150 star from you for 99 cents.
Okay.
But te hanga fuaki ma ai LETIO VAKE TALI FOLAU. A fo star te au ni manoa ko ia. Ai ko fo star te au ni manoa ko ia o senite taha ki fo star taha o ma o LETIO VAKE TALI FOLAU.
Okay, so Facebook is no ko ni. Okay. E te whatau ko me Facebook se te hiwa. You give away $1.50.
Right.
So they are losing 51 cents every year.
Right. If you
That's
do
what
it
I'm
like
trying
that.
to get at. Because o pehe a wia ki hoko kat be nau tāna pāanga.
O nau tāna ke senite hiva. They give you there's a special ai go special le tai mini e te fuafua whakatau ko stars.
Okay.
Ai hange go wakai pe ki ho screen go now ke me mai ai.
Okay.
Ta whaaki o se share, ta whaaki tau he mai lalo on the bottom of the page. O se share, pe hoka write a comment. Os go pa ase leva ki fo I star I hoko ai. Pa to hoko ai to leva ki I ngahi thumb up ma ngahi emoji ko ia. So, lava lele pe ke whakatau leva ha o fo I star e te au ni manoa, se ni te hiva. Ko ngā o kui ai, ko tāketi ko na aku fōtu ke LETIO VAKE TALI FOLAU, ke mao a fo I star e taha kilu.
Okay.
So, send us your stars. Asi pe ia ko to tako to pe send my in star. O e asi pe ia I he screen. Hange ko ni na o si send to tu mahalo pe me he kakala to nga they send 50 stars.
Kaya.
Aia o glava leva ke asi mai pa te hange ko au na I tested. I got for 50 stars ko e fe unga mo senite ni manoa.
Okay.
Mei ko e a fo star ko to pete te sen mei ko ngahi ko na tol ko na ngawe aki lahi au pito ko e a Facebook live ta te fito ke u video pe te na hanga leva ki na toluia o fai a me ko ni ko fonga e lava ke ma o ha se ni te na tolu na nga aki ko ia a Facebook live.
Okay.
Ai ko fonga ia send your stars hange ko ni ai to e for it's funny because
You only got 50 more star left. You already spent 100.
Ane ngoi hau eik mo ka inga ko e whaunga e. Ko e whaunga e te ki lava o tokoni a ke Letio Vake Tali Folau. Yes, iyo, ko ia. I'm not sure, Alice, you're going to might not know whether I can do it to anyone else, but all I know, nene o nau imeiri mai pe, ke whahinga o nau lahi ngāwe aki ko ia.
Ore ko tare ta e whihuka arisi, eh? Io arisi ko only certain people, they reach certain numbers. Aia o ko mahapakono wharea e taha, ko a o ka taimi, uinga ko whai ko tau ngāwe aki a Facebook a mili. Pero tu pe YouTube, ai whahinga ia, they're making money on YouTube, big time. Ko ai whahinga tokolahi, eh? Aia e mahtuunga ia he tokolahi ko ia ai kakai ko oku nau mea mai ki he paenga. Pea o nau ilo pe na tō whetaimi ko e ke o mai ko e ai ngahi incentive ko ni e meni, eh? E pea pehe pa mo e Facebook, o koe ke pehe ko pēsi ko toa pe. O kuma, ai ko pēsi e tolu e Vake Tali Folau, nana award mai ai star. Ai ko San Francisco, Hawaii, pea mo family, me taha ngai pēsi.
Koe, hanga ko Texas.
Iyo, ka koe, ka te whiri pe fo I pēsi pe taha, I think. O ke nau tok maa pe mea ko ni ane po lotonga whai ngā we, ka koe taha pe, I won't say it's a promotion, but I would say ko te lahe ko te ngāwe a koe Facebook pe koe pe whano ngahi award. Ko ngā koe ngahi kulupu ko, a track koe ki a kakai, mana tui. I kai ngata pe nau tuku mai ki tau save, tau video ke nau sistemi, ka I he taim da tau pe, tau whatonga pe ngai ahoni, o alo pe ki tau I lailang mo tua ki Facebook. Keke. But that's how business are. You get something, they get something. That's just the way it is. It's all business. Take. You have to give as well. Pero tui iyo, mabuksi mahino. Thank you, Aris. Kawai pehe koe pesko toa pe te o ke te star. Aia koe taha pene ngai stepu e meri mahon whare e taha. Ka I he taim da tau pe, hangi ka mena o lawe koe ke restructure e tau platform ke lava pe, ke lere koto atu ai ngahi whamafola e Vake Tali Folau I Facebook, YouTube, moe web page, ko ia?
Ko ia.
I he website ti, aia, o pare mo mea ki he website ti, ko toki wakaet kia ha next week, not today, not tomorrow. Ka koe hango whamafola koe ni he taini mi, ai ni he taini mi, oku I he homepage ia. Ko toi katoa ngai whamafola koe ni ai ngahi pēsi, o si ai pe nau pēsi a nau tonu, Pa koe whakaukau pe heni. I he taim te tau pe o kei whamafola pe I he Facebook, YouTube, ka kapau ngaha ngahi tuaki o ke fie mau I he pēsi ko ia. Ko mea ngai sai te alat koe he pēsi ko ia, kapau ke fie mau ha whika telefoni. I he pēsi ko ia a LA e ia lolo a matala te au ko ia meli. Pea mua ngai tuak pe me LA. Pati aure pēsa Texas o pa wahna ngai tuak, ngai business, they're all gonna be in there. Kai ke koe taha pe ia o e kamata ke o atu ke maumau ai ngai information ko ni iha whaunga whainga fuanga meli. He koe te lava pe o kolosi ki he ngahi website ko ni aki pe hoki telefoni is o si user friendly pe ngahi website de ngai honi pe mono ngahi stuff is in there ke view aki a ho telefoni. You don't need a computer these days, eh? Tu ke ba fa o nga awe ki fa po kalama me wa tok fi ma computer. Tu ko in honi ko tau cell phone can do a lot of things. Ai gonna fare ta alupe ai telefoni ke to smart ange o mahalo smart ange I au emeri. I think so.
Yeah.
Kege. How can they
definitely. Koe te tau wakai heni ke tau ngahi o ngongo.
You never win, but go ahead.
Te tau wakai heni ke tau ngahi o ngongo. Pea kōkore pisi o nei tuku e tumu haki whakiwa pe taha. Ko hui kai o hake tau ngai ngongo ke tau kai tau ki tau ngongo Amerika.
Kaya me. Oh. Ana be pasti aga di ma. Au. Tapaita bega huti fa nono alisi Irene malona mau. Matini paletoa malona mau. Be ho kita officer melino. Kaya me. Yep. Saya ada dalam kamar. Quick saya. Kaya biar hoki. Kaya biar manlolo. Yep. See you. Yep. Come on, mogi ngau mai because museo mai na tau iate. Kaya bea, awa. Be oko ife kako ente. Kolope. Kaya ho kimele atrafi. Kaya beya alele. Dio mage del flow de vida miniti e ho fumani magi tawa e melito po mai malo.
Ko tu si e taimi ko nga ko tau po kalama hoko ko ia o ku teu mai. Ko pe tau minita tau
ho mai
ko full ko nga ho mai a Brian Terrell i he taimi e taim tahawa,
Kaya. O fatu mele masi.
Koe, aia koe, kai tupe mua ke, o atu peki ko ngā si o ngongo koe ni e tuu koe ia i he taimi ni.
Kaya.
Aia te tau ulaka wakai peki he tukunga koku ia e COVID-19 i he taimi ni i mamani, kai o mafo kia Amerikani. Aia koe tuu koe i he taimi ni, fe unga mo kakai e toko hongo fulu miliona tupu ma o COVID-19 I maman katoa malolo ai toko 5 kilo tupu pe ko over he vai 1 miliona e kakai o ma o COVID-19 I Amerikani fe unga mo kakai toko ua poiniono miliona ua poiniono miliona pe tupu pe oku ko malolo he tai mini o ke kakai toko 1 kilo wa mano no afe tupu ko ka pau te tau alo he reiti ko tau alo ai he tai mini mei whakaavalisi ke toko whamano I aho ko toa pēku mao he COVID-19. Whafuafua, koe aho he hongo fulu mei heni, ko awo toko 3 miliona e kakai o mao he COVID-19. Whafuafua ke toko aho he hongo fulu mei heni, ko awo ke toko 3 miliona. He ko reiti koe ia, o e tau tupu, pe koe toko lahi koe kakai ko mao he COVID-19, o mei nofo pe toko whamano. Aia koe aho wahiwa ane afna e whamano taha afe. Koe aho ua walu aho atu ne toko tolu mano walu afe tupu. Taha afe tupu pe ua whamano. Koe aho ua fitu ne toko whamano ua afe. Aho koe ne lahitaha toko lahitaha kakai ne mao COVID-19. Aho wano su ne na whiunga mo toko whamano ni maafe. Pe he Dr. Fauci. Ia ngai wha eke ne whakahoko kia I he pongpongini. Ko ne wakai whakakatoa ki Amerikani. He won't be surprised. Ka o toko lahi kakai o mao he COVID-19 ki he taha kilo I he aho. Pehe Dr. Fauci. I Amerikani alone.
That's a lot of...
Na ogune pehe. He won't be surprised. Ka o kakai o mao he COVID-19 ki toko taha kilo I he aho e taha. Pau ne pehe foki, koe hala koe fowa Amerikani he taimini is wrong. Oku hala. Koe fonga koe fowa Amerikani he taimini oku hala. Koe fonga koe ne sio koe ke kakai e nau ketha toko lahi I ngai feitu uke he. Koe fonga koe ia, tene ave eia toko lahi kakai I he coronavirus ke toko takilu he aho. Pane pehe foki, koe mate, koe ne ilea koe ne whai koe ke mate, death will be disturbing.
Karanga meri o hanga o kai gelo po tonu e kusia, but I'm looking at 6,400 stars. Te mau macho a tai meri. Tau macho.
Thank you. Thank you, Silua. Si, sako whonga whafafa. E kau pehe, e tau te whok pehe, thank you, Silua, osin ata fas. Te tau foki peheni ki pehe koe pehe koe ia Dr. Fauci koe mate ia koe number of death koe hala ko tau fōwai tai mini koe number of death in America will be disturbing koe ne tali ia it will be disturbing
tau pe aluko sa ma pe sai ani
koe ngahi lea fefeka Dr. Fauci I ahoni I ngahi mea koe ni oku koe ngai state ko oku toko lahi taha kakai o ma COVID-19 Amerikani he taimini ko California ko Texas ko Arizona pe mo Florida ka oku iai state e tolfa oku nau toi hiki hake kakai o ma COVID-19 Pakapau tau to o tolfa pe me state ni mangofulu ko taha no pe o ku slow down he taimini. Ke ma o ni manoa, state ni manoa. Ko taha no pe o slow down, but pe he Dr. Fauci. O ka pau leva o ko ngai state tol fa ko ko kinau tolu o ku hai ai ko ai COVID-19. Ko fo I fa ko na lave ko ki ai ko fo state fa o ku very bad. Covid yang e fa. Covid ko ia te kei ke whetau lakia pe mo tau tolu e kamata pandemic. Pau pehe Dr. Fauci, mana tu I mao pe, neongo ai Covid fo state whakoe, pe a hiki te niti, hiki toko lahe kakai I fo state tolu whakoe, ka koe fo state koe tahao no koe oku toe, they are still vulnerable. Oku nau kei tu ulavea ngofua pe, he koe taha pe ia o e tau kau Io me o kawa Hawaii state e tolu whako ni nau lawe kia ni nai. They are very critical. Ka koe COVID taha ko California, ko Texas, ko Arizona, pea mo Florida. Those are the 4 critical
Ko
ones.
hoi ki whehui.
Ko ia.
Sai, ko bebe California. Ko hai ana ua o ki saia. Fiskoni pe ko Los Angeles.
Ko ka pau te mo wakai ke mea koe no o mai koe he Johns Hopkins University in Madison, eh?
Okay.
Katoa ai o county, ke tau lau state tai mini ka tau lau county, eh? Katoa o a county ko I Amerika ni ko Los Angeles he tai mini o ku lahi taha pe o toko lahi taha ka kai uma COVID-19. Out of all the counties, lahi angeia I Cook, ai ko Cook ko county ia I New York.
Okay.
Lahi angeia I he Queens ko county mo ia New York. Ko Kings ko county mo ia New York. Eh, ai ko toko tai mini a Los Angeles, fe unga mo kakai e toko taha kilu mahiwa ngiau ni mamalu o ma o he COVID-19 he tai mini.
Okay.
Mate ai toko tolu wafe tolu ngiau tolu taha I Los Angeles. Ai ko Los Angeles mo tolu ko LA County. Ko tau Talanoa County en he tai mini. Ko mo tolu o ku toko lahi taha kakai uma COVID-19 I American. Katoa e whangi county ko toi American katoa.
Wow.
Yeah. Hoko ai ngai feitu ko ia. Ka ko lahi taha ko e mate, ko toko lahi taha e mate ia I Queens. Tau Talanoa en ke county. Eh?
Okay.
Toko lahi taha e mate ia I Queens, ai I New York. Toko lahi taha e mate I Kings, New York e moia. Ange kau ko Cook, New York e moia.
O kau whaka kui nia e meri, I fito was very rough out there. Eh?
Ko ia.
Pea ko very populated a Queen.
A Queens, yeah. Ai ko lahi taha e mate I Queen, ai ko ni mafe tonu ia wau taha. Hoko kia ia Kings, ai ko Kings ia I New York e pe moia. Eh? A Kings, hoko atu ai, ko toki fika taha ua tolu, toki fika nima Los Angeles ia. Ai ko LA ia, o ku toki fika nima ko ia ki he, toko lahi ko ia kakai o kuma, ai nau tolu o kumate. Ka ko LA ia o ku fika uluaki I he toko lahi taha kakai o kuma o he COVID-19 I he tai mini, ai au whafuafua ke kakai e toko taha kilu. They just passed 100,000.
Wow.
Yesterday. Ko na wa ia ko ke toko taha kilu. Ko ia I motol ko ia LA. Whakatoka ngā iange. O ku tuwa LA he tuunga whakatu utamaki. Ko kake tau ke ila tato pe ko toi ha ai whakalea whakatu utamaki te tau te tau iloi. Ko eke koe ni ka Dr. Fauci mo taha kau toke tāne ne eke ki nao tōre pōmpongi ni. Ko whenai, ko hai mea hoko, o iai hoha, he koe presentation koe ni nei, ko present ke senator ane uhu. Ai present ko ia he task force ko ia o COVID-19, White House task force COVID-19, ai utaki ai koe Dr. Fauci.
Ego e CDC bea.
Ko ia, ko rau tōna nau present koe ai finding koe ni mo nau tokanga. He kua ueni, o nau loto kau senator ai tai mini ke tufata e totonge mask. Ke ngai household ko toa pe Amerikani. Ko tari koe Dr. Fauci ki ai, whatever you can do will help a lot.
And slow it down.
Ka koe slow ka, o ku kei concern pe a Dr. Fauci, ke toko lahi koe ne keida takai holo I kakai. Ko tui tau sio pe ki tau tōna.
Tau sio pe ngai ata.
Ko ia.
Hange ko whe, ko mi sori mahalo, pe ko one of those speaks now, so watu I few days ago.
O kula pita ka kapau te tau reflect pe tau tolu e tau tolu tonga.
Au pita.
Ko tau osi sio mo oni au pita osi ata ia.
Wa pe ka tau toka inga tonga. O ke whai pe e tau ngai pokalama e meri. No mask whatsoever.
Iyo kamata ke ase ngai whai aho, kamata ke ase whakatata. Of course ko os ata ia. Kau pehe Dr. Fauci, o ka pau he kai ke tau lava o whakasi ai no discipline tau tolu whasi e get together. E alo e ni au au ke ka kai toko tahakilu I he aho. Tatau e pe ke te tui e mas, o ka pau, the get together, the party, na ia ne lea whewhe ka opehe, don't go to the bars, ke ngai pā. Mana tuke te teo e nia koe o e a whao siulai. Ko e mea une kole whakamamate I ahon. Pa koe ngai pā ia ko nau o sanga I nau tolo tā puni. Ka na o whakaampe ke o hake. e hoeng mo ka inga tukunga tau ia Amerikani he tai mini whakatokanga e ang tau tolko tau ko i California ni tau toi tokanga nge mo oni pe ko o si whakaawa ngai matapa o gai lea pe he taha kau taki ko ni Amerikani o gai uhi ngai whakaawa ekonomika ke whakaawa i koe ho matapa koe ko wana koe a California ko koreka ko wana California o koe ke uhinga no whakaawa ekonomika ke whakaawa i koe matapa household door.
That's right.
Ko whakaawa ekonomika ko uhi ke tau lava o excess ke ngai mea koe ni pea mo whenga ekonomika ke aluhake ka o kai ke uhinga ia ke tau keida takai holo tau tori he pāri kai pola mo hafua ngai mea koe ia. We still have o whea mau pe ange ko lea koe ne mai me ko wana o California ko e kole mo e kole ko taimiri ka pai tau open ai ngahi
E tau pehe me
ko e kole ia ai veteki koe ai ngahi ai ngahi gathering community gathering
Mai ka e tau pehe ko taimi pe ke alwai ka whahinga whakataanga ka kai pena ke kau ko ia he kai ke protect yourself at least that
koe
pe te fok mai rewa ki api o whakaongo ai pe o ke puke ka pe kai ka ke mantoi wai whahinga ni na puke pe a pe tolu malolo ai pe a pe ko hono tolu wai whahinga ni a hoi whahinga ni a hoi nima whahinga ni o alupe ki he wike e ua pe tok mahino o ko te hao ai ko risk ka ko o ku ke take o wadi ke alwai pe ke ngai whataanga o i kai ke na wea hawhahinga mass. He ka whehui. Why? Ko inga hako te ke ilo koe, paka toko taha koe ko i he pāti, pina e whia e beia i aho koe e whia ki moa e meri. Ko hae ngahi ātakai na e i ai. Lahe pita ngai whehui. Aia ko pehepe, te u alu ki he putu, peo ke wakaiat ko ia, o ku ikai ke wea mass mai na tolu ia, pa ke maa ko he wea mass. So, ko ngahi palpare mai ni meri. Pea tau sio ai i he Facebook, i me ke aho ke aho. Hangengon ko ki whakanga loku, a ngai mea ene o swhaika e tala noa i aho kotoa pe. Pea kono wharea e taha e meri, I think everybody, including us, we all push until we run out of luck.
right
Kono wharea mo ni pea.
yeah
Pa koe ko mo tolu pe, kawai mo maua.
I
Kai
see
ke hata i mia matui ke hata i mia e tuku ai lerei wharekoloa. Ko pāpai e whae lerei wharekoloa. But at least ka te hua tuku ki ngai wharekoloa meri, oku everybody wear a mask. At least that. Ka koe ngai fuu pāti ka ni mo ka kai na o ke matatahi a whāsi ulai.
yeah
Most of them don't wear a
ki ai
mask.
koe ai kau taki koe no tau
Hi, Sil.
Dr. Fauci, hi Sil. Koe mea whai kia tokanga. Of course, ko pako mea taha. Ko hunga koe lahi koe ne ngahi whatahatahaanga koe ni i he teu koe ne Free Palestine campaign ni.
Campaign.
Og nau whakatokanga i ai, people are saying, doesn't matter if we wear a mask. Tau te whito ki he young generation, whangakita mai ki iki. He ko mea ia o ko whie lawe ki ai,
Tau me te taha ki.
o ko whie lawe ki ai whekau aki pia mo tau taha walu ke tau tolu noa. Koe tau ia koe o ku toko lahi taha hono o hofi e COVID-19 he aho ni. Tau taha walu ke tau tolu noa. O kwa ia i ngai le koti li poti ko ia o mai ko ia e he i ngai COVID-19. Mei ko tau taha walu. Aia ka pau te tau wakai ki he kalafi ko ni. Ko tau taha walu o aluha ke a o ke kakai e toko wakilu tupu.
Wow.
Ma o koe ha COVID-19. Ko tau hoko mai ko toko lahi ai a kakai o ma COVID-19 tolu nima ki he ono wha. E tolu nima ki he ono wha ko e mei ko foi tau ia e ua ko tai mino o hofi ka tau te fito ke tau tawalu ke tau tau noa. Pea ko mea ko to e whakatu utama ke tau tawalu ke tau tau noa. Ko uhi he ko toko lahi taha ia ki nā tolu they are asymptomatic. Aia ko no uhinga o koe ki hawha inga symptom ia taha asi. O koe ke nau tae nau tolu, o koe ke nau O ke kai ke nau mofi ki nau toria. None whatsoever.
Wow.
Pea ko nau tolu, ko uinga he ko ki nau tolu fu nau kei si ke malohi o nau immune system ke nau tau i coronavirus. Ka ui kai ke ukinga e nau I kai ke nau, ko taimi pe kou nau asymptomatic ya, I pe ui kai ke asa whainga symptom, ko ka kaia o ku whaka tu utamaki lahi taha. Again, ko whanau ia tau tawalu ki tau tau noa, ko ki nau tolu, they are most active. Ia ngā koe tau tu u whakatau. They are most active, nau tolu nau alu takai holo, they can't cope me nof maui api, o koe gia lahi e nau kātaki. Ko ki nau tolu o nau ngā au e lahi taha ngai aho ni. They are the most mobility, ko nau tolu o nau ngau au takai holo. Ko ki nau tolu, ka pate tau toi wakai, ko ki nau tolu o tae whanongo lahi taha. Whakatau ke urunganga. Ko lea koe a Dr. Fauci ka umaa ai kau ko wana la lahi na nau kole ke tau tahawal tau tau noa. Don't be so selfish. Think about whakakau ki o mō api. Mana tui ka whanau ka pate tau whakafufua ke whanau koe ni. Mahalo ko tau o ngā ta ataha ia o te tau lava wakai ki ai. Don't be so selfish. O koe ke nau ham, o koe ke nau tui mask ki nau tolu ia. They are all over the place. Ka koe kole ia Dr. Fauci ka umaa e toi ngai kau matike tika I he coronavirus o nau ngawe ki ai. Ko nau kole, pia mo kau ko wana o e whanuani, ko nau kole ke whanau ko ia. He koki nau tolu o ku toko lahi tahai asymptomatic pe ko ka kai tamai ki o kai ke ase coronavirus. Pe au nau oai pe nau tolu si veteke coronavirus everywhere. So please, ka pate tau whoki pe tau toko tau ngahi family, ko hi ngā ke tau wakai, he ko tua tai mini, we're going, hange ko lauka Dr. Fauci ulakiu, o hange ke teia is out of control, o ne pehe, o ku tau alen tau toria ke taimi is out of control.
Okay.
Amerikani.
And we are going the wrong way instead
And we're going the
of the
wrong
right way.
way. Pa kai ngā tai, ko presentation ko ia nau tolok nau whahoko koe pe nau whaigo hono trial ai huhu malu I. O kai peke nau tō lava nau tō wei mai ai taimi ke ki ofi mai. O nau pehe nau tō timeline is next year. Na pehe fo ke ngai ngongo ki mua e lava ke ki wei mai ki November, ka topa November, December. Na ko nau presentation ko nai whai ko ia ki whale sena toa I pongpong ni na nau pehe. O kai peke nau lava nau tō unua ki mai. The timeline is next year. E lava ke toki a whainga mali ia ngai huhu malu I. They don't want to trial it and take the risk. E ko neki whihala ki ko ia, ko futo ko whiha te nau tamatei. So, aia ko whakaampe ke tau whiinas aki
I he. Ka tū ia koe tai nimi o stu ia e he kill or be kill, no matter how they
so, tama e tāpaita, nai tok malolo hono first kasi, nai tala pe hui tō, koe tala me whale mate, koe hongo fulu I he viu, pe hongo fulu I he tau, I he tanu. Never happened. Na e tokolahi e viu, pe toi tokolahi e tanu. I went to the Bureau to show my last respect, but I stayed away from the Bureau area and stayed in my car. Ko tue koe tai minia ko os ata, namo sen matea mo mawhitu na matoko os ata fo ke tokolahi ia. Ko unaui ko social purpose. So social purpose is os ata ia. Ka ko kita pe ia mo e te...
Ko mea o e meri tau sio pe o ngongo, ko puke pe atako taha e api ko ia. Tata whito, nei e hangang he tā noa ki mua. Nei e whahinga nau alpe ke nau ki mea whawhamiri.
Koia.
Pea whoki mai pe ko ia, puke pe ne whinei ki, puke pe mo na whatako ua, puke pe mo e ankolo, o puke katoa e api.
Koia.
Pea au pe ko tā noa koe ni kei pe te ngalo ia te au, ki anga ku whakaukau. Ngana mi oskota whamiri he mate. Ko ngā koe tau koe na anau ia I e meri.
Koia, koia.
Ai te nofu pe ki whafua pe ki a kita, mo api kan koe mo to ātakai I api. O pau kia kau tau re kai, whihu I leo ka koe, is it worth a risk ke nau si poke? So think about that. Always. Whia pehefo ki whanau. Tau tau te whito. Ai a tau pehepe, ai ko mātu ai tene whinga I ke malanga e whanau.
Koia.
Ko os lea pe ki o whoha. If I get sick, te o talanga anga tōn me ki ai. E koe whaki tuku ne aluana ngā we. Pakos oange mass, oange moeha, oange moeha. Ka u ila wia o kai kine fu mui e ia ka pepe ia ke aluia mona friend o na wana to ino. There's nothing I can do. Pea koutui kua o ka taimi e meri. Hiki te lawa turi o to whaa mo to api.
Abito.
Ko mea whaingata. Ka
Ko
ko
keise
hinga
ne
ko tau
fiha.
whainga peke tau lotu ki he eiki.
Ko keise ne fiha e sione ko whanongo ai. Ko si I puke ko o mai he whanau.
Au pe si malolo e whae.
Si I malolo ko o mai he whanau. Ko te wakai at ke puke ni I ko talamai. Ko si o whohata ko e nai pe mo pe. Ko ea. Aia ko mea ko tau mai ate tau lava. Ko mea whaingata. Mea whaingata. Ko kau palangi pe ta. O malohi e nau pe. Ko tau tawalu pe mawahi mea pin. Pe nau hanga whakangata pe nau hanga o ta ofi. Tau ui tau tō koe cold hard. Koe tonga I kai. Hau koe. Hau pe koe ki apin. Tau tari pe tau tōre whaingata a moe whaingofua. Ka neongo ia. Ka malohi anga pe tai mlahe tau whamanatu pe whakamanatu. Aho moe po. Neongo te nau teringa veri. Ka mahu inga pe ono whakamanatu. Pea mo...
Kono whatu tā maki koe me ani meri.
Koe ia.
Kau kai pe he koe puke pe. Ka koe chance koe more koe a mo is very high. Very high au mita. Ai a wate ke. Ki whakaukau pe ki ai. Ta os whanonga ko ta pe kakai ko ta pe. E na os mai maki. Ai langa mo e uhu au pe taimi. Kai ki nau te ilara to hamea. Nei whae. She went in a coma. And she was pregnant. Doctor decided to take the baby out and save the baby. Kai ke hokokat pe ko mai whae ko ni. O me mi alu ki wike e tolu. Tok whaas o se wike koe hono tolu. E whinga ai toke tā koe ni. Ki ne whamui e whae koe ni. Ki te hau anga kouk se atu e meri. She had a chance. Ko ngā kono tā une whuke si apito. Whafufu e tā wanima between 25 and 30.
Pegai ngā tai.
Ka ne katoe tā au toi ki mato tua. Oi lei.
Ko mea whakataha nei whae e polo kalama ko ia ai San Francisco Tongan Interfaith ia tōna ki ne le ai Aaron Nurse pe ko Nesi pe a me a Pomona o ku RN. Nā ne pehe ko tūko tai mini ko advice ko e kau toke tā ke kakai unau mālolo. Ke awe ki nau tōlu o whakamomofi. Kono uhinga he koe virus ia e lava o nofo pe ia he sino koe o pekia. Peo pehe ki nesi koe ni. Pea koe toko lahi taha e kakai au nau mālolo ko ia I o nau feitu o awe ia whakamomofi. Pea ka paulewa ke ki awe whakamomofi e fi e mao e ke quarantine mo sino ia ko ia I aho tawha. Aho pekia. Ko pau a pekia. Ko pau e quarantine aho tawha. Pea ko whai koe putu is going to be a closed casket. O ki kai whakaawa ai puha ia. Aia koe tuu ia ka pau te desio to the end of the stick. Pea ko te sio ke ngata anga koe o ola koe hono mau ki ta COVID-19. Ko tui he kai ke utoi fie huau ki tua. Ko te sio atu ke talanoa koe nesi ke whonga mate ai kakai. E nau mate hange unau mate furu tāmaki ia. That's terrible. I don't want to go through that.
O apau koe ke tau hardly brief I ngai ahoni.
Koia. Pea ko toi tāna ke atu pehe koe he nesi I he aho I ono whae ke eke ia. Mate furu tāmaki ia, hange ute mate furu tāmaki ia. Ko hono wa, hange koe o ku kai ke toi aha taha. Nobody, kai te hataha ia. Hoto close friends. Koe aho e kou te fie mao ai tō taha. Of taha kia ki tāke o tō taha aki. Nobody. Wow. Ko hono, ko longo I loneliness, like, hange ko hate, ko whakaofa tamai taimi ni koe ke lava ia, o sio ki he whaawange ai mea ke nau lava FaceTime and say their last goodbye.
Kia nau family.
They couldn't do that. Ta koe ia kai kene, o ku fiu whenga ke ne lava whai, no awange koe ai bad ke nau say goodbye.
Kei ke lava he kau.
Ko one of the anga ko ne pehe he nes ko ia o whainga taa ki ai and algo ave iPad to say the last goodbye.
Wow.
Ko ngā ko te suat ko ke ngai family. E nau vivili mai. Ko te fwoi whakaukau pe kita ki he mea ko ia. Ko wakai fwoi Facebook ane afi. Ko ongo tonga e toko ua. I Texas. Ongo tonga e toko ua na si vahe mai ai. Nai ki whakamokosia pe auspalele atu. Pe a si ave whanmahagi tala mai positive. Ai a quarantine a ta wha. Te kawa ke pe mai toko taha pe ai hona quarantine a one pe he oku positive. Manatu i ko Texas. Oku kau e hotspot right now e coronavirus. Ai a ko kamata ke ha mai. Pa wek whakamalo ke nau tolu ko iang nau loto lahi nau tuku mai peta mai na CV positive pe amone pe mai kau tonga mo tokanga this is real. Pe ane pe he pe whakaloto lahi mai pe ai kau nanga ko ni mo tala ke ilo o ka pau o ku te positive. Koe ofa ia koe ke tō tāko toa pe. Ka pau te positive, tala ke ilo he tō tāko toa pe. For friends and everybody, and even show it on Facebook. Again, koe uhinga foki, koe taha peia e te hanga o malui ai toenga ho to kau ngā whanonga. Koe te whakaha ke ilo ka pau o ku te positive i a sivi koe ia o e COVID-19.
Okay. Emily, I got Brian already going to see I loto I he mea, si takai mai, ka ke whaosi mai i aere mamao.
Koe te tau hoko tai pe ki a Brian, koe ki tāno anō no pe mo Brian whikau aki mo whakatau api i e ho wani ka tuku mua ke o atu a tau whasi, ki mua pa tau hoko atu ke a Brian, piko tuku mai pe fo i tuaki koe a Brian, o te mo mawahe me tau letio, pe whamalo hen ka si lua, koe ngā koe o mai ai fo i star, e ono nge au whanoa. Koe?
Ono afe whāngiao.
Ono afe whāngiao. That's a lot of stars, Silua. Thank you so much. Whakamaloa, Silua. Mo tōru ko tō pēng mo mamata mai I ata. Whakatoka ngā iangi. O kia e ki fo I star. Ta whaaki pe koe write a comment on the bottom of the screen. Ta whaaki ta o mata au kia fo I star. Click on that star and give us stars. Ko ki fo I star koe e nima noa. Ko fu mea lahia pea mei he. Ma ai LETIO VAKE TALI FOLAU. He ku mao e seni te taha I fo I star ko toa pe. Whamalo hen ka si lua. E ne o mani ai fo I star. Ka ose a honi o ku lahe ngahi star. Te tau fia ka taha pea ho tokoni. Ke painga VAKE TALI FOLAU. Seni te taha fo I star e taha. Ka paka fo I star ni manoa. Seni tia ni manoa.
Ana be whasi a ka ni. Wai. Loko te koe ka e. Kore whamurumore atu, kai tuki atara ki whai whasi pēna tau kolosi ni ki pokala mahoko, malo. Arewe whamalo ki a si lua wala, kaya ka.
Kaya.
6,400 stars. Kasanyi mai kolore na. La 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 la. Kaya mea.
Kaya bea kung mawailang. Tukoy mag-isag. Kaya bumanoa. Oh. Star, 5 star, 10 stars. Tukoy tala nungay nga ko na itapaag ito matao on the bottom. Click on it and 10 stars.
Eva ia po o kufa kalata pea hula mo eki imoa mo kiki api mo elo tofi e fia ie e te ofi ie o faanga I give you all my loving, baby. You throw it all away and make me cry.
O ke fia whakatau hau api California, o ke palani ki whakatau hau api I California. Tā lewa ki Brian Terrell Landing Company, ni matau noa, ono wau noa noa ono tau taha, peko hiwa taha ono no taha hiwa ua tolu hiwa, he kok tane ni ti ena, te hoko ko hoa ngāwe, pe te tawhi ao mo koe, ka lewa ko lava mao aho api. Whewheo ka pau palpale mai to tongi ho api California. Peo kolo aho tunga whapaanga, peo whea mau ki holoke to tongi aho api I mahina. I meiri ki a Brian Terrell Landing Company, ptlending@yahoo.com. Pa teu whakawhetewete palpale mau ke te whangai, ka ke mau mo ui fia no ngā mo tawataina. Ko ke fo'inai I to tongi renzi hene mamafa whauwhaua I California. Tā ki Brian Terrell Landing Company, fika telefoni, ni matau noa ono walu noa ono tau taha, pe hiwa taha ono taha hiwa ua tolu hiwa, tene whahata ngai whaunga lelei taha, ke mawahe ai me he totongi rent. Ko e Brian Terrell Landing Company ia, kua wholoa tau e mau I he tawhaakoe ni, pe ak mau osilai seni foki I California. Fika telefoni, hiwa taha ono taha hiwa ua tolu hiwa, pe koe ni matau noa, ono walu noa ono tau taha, pe ho emaili ki he btlending@yahoo.com. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's own a house now. Aua, go Brian Terrell Landing Company.
Hi, Brian. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, good. Thank you. And thank you for being here this afternoon. Hope everything is okay with the family.
We're still alive.
That's all that matters at this point.
Yeah.
A time like
We've
this.
been pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, what do you want to share with us today, Brian? It sounds like you got some good deal going on right now.
Yeah, I have several things that I'd like to bring up.
Okay.
I think the last time we were looking at things that was, the markets were uncertain with everything. We weren't really certain about the real estate market, where it was going. And then, mortgage markets started to bounce around with their rates and things like that. So it was very unstable at the time. And we've weathered the storm. I really enjoyed the time I had to put my business more together. And so right now what we've got is, if you're looking at a 20% down, if you're putting 20% down payment, you have a credit score of 720.
Wow.
You're on a 30-year fix, you're looking at a 2.75% interest rate. Conventional, if you're putting just 3% down, and 720 credit scores, 3% interest rate. If you're putting if you're doing a 15-year fixed, it's a 2.375 rate. Veterans putting a 100% down. They don't have to put a down payment down for veterans loan. The 30-year fix is a 2.25% rate, and then FHA 30-year fix is 2.25% rate. And there's the ones that offer down payment assistance, and they're up a little bit higher rates. They're 3.35%. And so we're getting pretty good rates, and we've got some new lenders that we're lined up with in our company that offer down payment assistance programs that are more beneficial. And the CalHAFA, we've talked about it on the radio program. It's existing, but the lenders are afraid to use it, so they're not letting me use it right now. But there's another one called the Chinoa Fund that is nationwide, and we have a lender that's using that one, and it's a pretty good program, and so it's still operational with its 30-year FHA program.
So it sounds like to me you're telling me that the market is, I won't say doing well, but it seems like there are other opportunities there.
As far as the rates go, it's all-time low.
Right.
As far as the
Wow.
real estate, the sales prices, they've gone down a little bit in the last couple of months, but they haven't gone down terribly. It's actually been quite stable compared to what it was in 2008.
And I think I can see the real estate company, they kind of, they feel things gonna go great for them at a time like this, because some people will end up either lose their home or lose their down home or whatnot, and it seems like they're waiting for the kill. Are they, or no?
I don't think that's the way people are trying to look at it right now. I really, they've been trying to make sure that as many people can stay in their homes as possible, because foreclosure rates, they don't want a big drop in the market,
Right.
with people getting foreclosed on. But, it's still what you call a buyer's market, where the rates are, the house prices are going down. So, if you're a buyer, you're still in a good position to make an offer.
Right.
If you're a seller, you might, if you're thinking about selling your house, it might not be the right time to do it still.
So it's not, in other words, not the right time to sell, ka kataimin kita whakatawata to api, ka right time to
Fine.
no, to buy.
Yeah.
Because time to tono ko kita whakatawa to api. So we'll just keep going, and I'll try to, speak in Tongan as much as possible. So it's not the best time to sell, but this is the best time to buy. Ai ko taimia ni o rei tahai ke te whakatau api, ka waka taimia ni ke te whakatau ai hoto api. Ai ko tuko e peheka ni e Brian Oksai au pito ai tuunga whaka-finance, tau te whitaki nao tō te nao financing ai loni. So are we looking at, if you have 750, pau wa o ho score ko credit ki he fitu ni
720.
manoa 720
Uh-huh.
because fitu ngea ua noa. So what is the percentage on finance if it is
on a-
720?
On the 720, a 30-year fix is at 2.75%.
2.75%. I think that's the lowest ever, huh?
That's one of the lowest. It was lower a couple of days ago. It was about 2.5%. And so it does change a little bit. And the way I price it out on my website is I don't go for the lowest rate, because when they show the lowest rate, they actually have more fees that they attach to it. So what I do is I pick the price where they actually give you a rebate for picking that rate. So this 2.75% is not the lowest one that's going to show up on my pricing scenario, but what it's going to show is a rebate that's going to be about $2,000 or $3,000, and so that rebate can help cover closing costs and things like that. That way, somebody that's looking to just transition straight from renting to buying, they don't have to a whole bunch of money to have to do it.
So what you're saying is, because that you have this 2.5% finance, not always the best way to go because of other stuff attached to the deal, right?
Other fees, yeah.
Other fees that attach. I'm going to whare ta hau be, Brian. Ka pare te whatau ha api. Ta bebe no pau ki os mau ko ki whatau ha api. Ke tuko I he taini mi o pau o skoa ko o credit ke fitu anoa. O kui ai peseti e ua poinima finance o pau te whakatau ko ia pa ke whiri ke ngau e aki ia. Kau pe ia I he maulalo tahu. Talu ai hanga ko ni ko kai ko mi fa I pese te fa ni mai interest ko pese ko finance aia ko pega e Brian o pote ke ngau aki ai pese te ua po ni ma e to lahi pia mo ngahi o te mo ngahi fees ia e attach ki ai ko pe Brian te ai pe a fo ga ta te ngau e ma o panga to lafi repaid pe ko repay ko ni te lava ki ngau ke for your closing fees. Is that right, Brian? If you get some sort of repay, can apply to the closing fees, like you said.
Yeah, and it depends on which lenders. Some of them will require that the closing costs are paid, but then they'll rebate a couple weeks later. Some will apply it to the closing costs. It really depends on which lenders we're talking about, but either way, we're pricing it so that you're not going to be in the hole. If you're having if you're getting that rebate, a couple of weeks from after closing your loan, or if you can apply it straight to closing costs, either way, that's where we're pricing it. So, so that way you're not suffering financially for that.
Normally, how much the closing costs? How much percentage?
They usually, the way we try to explain it to people is to expect about 3%.
3%.
Of the loan, but that's not always the case. It could be lower sometimes, but we don't want to say that because it's not always in our control. So there's things like an appraisal, that closing cost includes appraisal fees and, underwriting fees, the title company fees and things like that. And there are circumstances where an appraisal can be actually waived. The problem is I can't actually tell somebody, yeah, we can waiver your appraisal because we'd have to send the application in first. And so that's why I don't tell people, that they're not going to have to pay an appraisal, because I've learned that it's not in my control to actually say that. We just submit it to the underwriters and then they'll send back, it doesn't need an appraisal. So then we're saving them $550.
So who decides whether, who decides the fluctuation of percentage as far as closing cost is concerned? Is that up to the underwriter or?
Yeah,
or
most of it's going to be up to the underwriter and the circumstances. For example, there's the underwriter's going to have basically Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have a program where they just submit it to the software and it'll determine whether there's an actual need for an appraisal or not. Because if you've had your neighbor's house across the street that looks exactly the same as your house appraised two weeks ago, and your neighbor down the street appraised 2 months ago, typically there's not going to be a need for an appraisal. And so the software, when they submit it to underwriting, it's going to automatically tell them whether they need an appraisal or not.
Okay.
And so those kind of circumstances, so they'll say, well, it says there's no need for an appraisal, so we can go ahead and just skip that part, and they can just go based on the assumption of the value that they have on the application.
Is that depend on or determine property per property, depend on location and all?
Yeah, it depends mostly on the amount of properties around it that have been appraised in the last couple months. So if your neighbors have been appraised, basically the appraisal is going to, most of your appraised value on the property is going to be based on your location more than anything. So if your home is, a lot of the new houses, they're basically in these subdivisions, there's usually 3 or 4 models. And if your model is the same as the one down the street that's been appraised 2 weeks ago, then they're already going to know pretty much what the value is of your house because they can
Okay.
just look at the value of that house. So if it's a 2-story, 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house down the street 2 weeks ago was appraised for $450,000 and it's got the same amount of land, it's probably they're going to just go ahead and assume that your property is about the same. And so they're just going to say, if you price your house about the same as that house, they're just going to waiver the appraisal usually.
Oh, okay.
But that's that depends on the underwriting program and everything like that.
Hoi makainga ki motol ko ia oku ke whakaukau whatau api e whikau ake e tala noa koe ni moki motol. Aia e matounga ia i ana whamahinga i koe o e api hangi ngai e lia o pau na e whamahinga i honei pāki e 450,000 tipeni wharefunga waka loki wha tau pehepe o pau na me heko me lahi apite u track home i ngahi whitu upo no whare e tāko u track home koe ni na e build na to almost same style pia ko hinga u whamatala koe ki ai o ngā koe pehe koe e Brian o pa e whaawarisi mai api koe ki he whani manoa pia sio hake ke nei pā e lawa pe o maua e nau whakafuafua e paanga ko ia ki whakatau ake api uruaki whika ua koe ki ai e toi mga tu unga pe i he ngai tohi whamatala ko ia ki he underwriter ai hono whau ko ia o e fo i sale ko ia pe koe ha ai se niti te nau tānaki mai ki he closing costs aia e matuunga ia i underwriter pe koe pe se te whiha koe me ene whaiketa noa pe mo Brian I have a question here. How about if your credit score is not 720 in other program for lower credit score, Brian?
Right now they're starting to get back to normal, but they've been at 640 was the minimum for a lot of the programs they've had. I'm starting to hear that they're starting to get back to 620.
Okay.
So, and then for the low credit, the non-QM types, for low credit where they were at 500 was the minimum credit score. Now it was, last I heard, it was 600. They might be moving that down again, but I haven't heard back from them yet about that. So
okay.
So minimum is at least 600. If you want to get the down payment assistance program, you'd have to have at least 640, which is probably the best option. I've been working with a couple of lenders, and we looked at their scenarios, and they had 618 or 620, and I told them it's probably better if we can just work on their credit first, and we can get that credit taken care of. Then we can also give them the down payment assistance. That way, they're going to be able to move in without too many problems. And so we can help them with the down payment. I've actually on my website I have a link to down payment assistance programs, and you can go in there and you can pick your area where you live or what area you want to move to, and just type in the information that's going to tell you what programs are available in your area, because some areas have their own programs and some areas it's just to know if fund is going to be available or another program. So I've got it set up for all of California, where I'm going through city by city and seeing what programs they have available and clicking on them so that people can qualify for those in certain areas.
Ko e tota ia tapenisi ita ko fika telefonina ne stuato. Some people asking for your phone number. Ka I he time tata opi te lava o visit ai website ko ia Brian o ki wakai holo pe ai ko ha hanga mea e toko ne to kia te koe tata te filo mo tol ko ia o ko mo whakaukau whatau api aia ko e hangomero nei labi ko ka Brian ko taimeni ulele e whakatau api ka ui kai ko taimi lele ieni ke whakatau atu ai ho api. In other words, unless you are in big trouble. Brian, how about for those that last 2 or 3 months accumulated their mortgage payment because they can't go to work of whatever reason. Um, can you catch up on that one?
As far as I'm hearing from a lot of the lenders, they're just extending their loans.
Okay.
They'd have to contact the lenders and find out for sure. They should talk to their lenders and find out for sure. You know, that's one thing. If your lender hasn't called you to talk to you about it, then you should call your lender and find out, because there could be, most of them have a deal set up with the government where they'll just forget about the last couple months and they'll attach it to the end of the loan or something like that. So the first option should be to call their lender if they haven't called you and talk to you about it already.
But that may affect your credit score of any way?
It shouldn't, not right now. If they agreed to do it, then it shouldn't affect it.
So that would avoid.
If the lender's already made that agreement with you, then you know, that's like saying I had a credit card payment and then in December the credit card company sent me a message saying Merry Christmas, you don't have to worry about the payment this month. So
wow.
I didn't worry about it. I just used it for presents, and you know, didn't affect
go.
my credit at all.
So the most important thing is to call the lender. Don't sit there and assume things, because that's when it hits you before you know it. Mahinga pita ke whirutaki ki he kautaha ko ia o ku totongi ki ai ho api, pe ko e totongi mo ki si ke mo whimahi no aki. E nau eke pe ue sia ho crediti, tu koe i taini mi i kai. Koe lau ia Brian, ka o whimau pe ke whapapau i tala noa mahino mo ki nau tolu. E koe taimi kono no whakalongolongo e taimi ako very dangerous. Right, Brian, when they're not contacting you or they're so quiet about it, that's when it get dangerous and you don't know which way they can swing, because they can swing any way they want it. That's why it's important. E mo whi mahino aki mahu inga au pidau ke whawhi mahino aki mo ki nau tolu. Hai tō ko ngā. He be Brian o pau e au ka taimi tau pehe peni ko ho mo ke si ke fitu afe. I he mahina. Totongi a ko he api ko iau ke nofo ai. Ka ui lava ko totongi. Ui ngā hau kei ki lau ko alo ngā ue. Ai au ko e mahina tolu ko e ua mano taha afe ia te ke lava totongi. Pehe Brian, ko ua mano ko ia ki lava pe ia o attach ki mui ki he paanga whakatoa ko ke o. In other words, it's not a forgiveness, but they can put it at the rear, right, Brian?
Yeah, that's what a lot of them are doing right now. So it'd be best to find out that's what they're planning to do. And I've heard before that they were going to try to stick them with the full amount in July, and now I'm hearing that they're going to just attach it to the end of the loan. So the best thing to do is find out, because each lender is going to have their own set of rules with that. But as far as I'm hearing from most of the ones that we do business with, they're just applying it to the end of the loan.
Okay, I got a question here from Alisi Irene Fifita. What does requalify loan means?
Pre-qualify?
I believe that's what it meant, but let me say it. Hanga teo ko whehui Alisi ko pre-qualify. Ko pre-qualify ka te tāka Brian o atu a e te ngahi information ni. Ko tau tā noa penda o pau ki whakaukau ke whatau hao api. Ko lelei ko pre-qualify ke te waki te hanga check te credit. Because I score ko credit. Ko score ko credit then determine nei ko ha ai lahi o e paanga ki he price ko api ko ia. Ko sayang ko credit ko sayang ia ho buying power ko lahi ia ha api fa o ku ke fam ke fa tau. Ko pa ke sai ho credit ai what level Brian, what are your limits? Ko ha limitation ni. Whakatau hoa kei ki he paanga kon koe o ku ke mau wha mahina pia mahalo pe ia o hawhi hoa depende pe i he credit score taim kono mau mai ai in a short time Brian can tell you whether what you are qualified for because how loan you fit ki ho pacheti. I mean, there's so many things. Ka ko pre-qualification is the best thing you can do, so you don't waste everybody else's time, right, Brian?
Yeah, what pre-qualification is that
It's the best
basically I go with you in the scenarios and you know, we're looking at credit score. We're gonna look at your total income versus how much you're able to afford to buy, and you know, all those factors are employment. Preferably should be about 2 years of employment, and you know, all those different things. And then what we do is we take your application, we submit it. Even if you haven't picked the house yet, we submit that to the lender with, we do what's called desktop underwriter, or we send it to the lender and they do it, and that's going to tell us whether the person qualifies for that loan or not. What we do after that is the lender will issue a pre-qualified letter that then you can just give to the realtors, so the realtor has an idea of what the price of the house is that you can actually afford. And that way they get, you know, they're not just showing you how every house they have available. There's
All right. Emily, what feel you? No. Sabi ke malo lo pe fakki Emily ke nga ko lahe ngau ke fa ko tani mi ka ma ko ko ma mo Brian. Is that okay? You can rest a little bit. Ko tipe mahalo mahina tu ke motor ko ia o ko firma ko ke pre-qualify hange pe ngai famatala ko ia Brian lau ni kai ngai to fa ko to be I ho income ka pe ki ho credit pe o ku sai ange pe ke te au hanga pe whakaukau ki mo toko mo whakaukau whatau api laka ange ke te waki laka ki taia I he fo I ta whaaki ko ia he ko hono re rei tene lava tala ato hange pe kone lau kimu au te ke piki ko ha api pe ka wheitu o pe ka mea o koe mea re rei mau pe ke te pre-qualify tuku ka nau tolu nau whai nau tolu ia a hono wakai I kātou ngai ta whaaki ko ia. Pere nau tala atu rewa, okay Arisi, you are good to go, or you no good to go. Or pere lewa and Brian, maybe you can wait another 2 years, or maybe you can wait another 5 years. So it all depends. Everybody's different.
The pre-qualification is more than anything is going to be able to tell you what you can afford. That way you're not looking at houses that are too expensive for you.
Yes.
So a person can get a pre-qualification letter for, you know, we look at your income, your credit score, and all the information like that, and then it would see that, okay, right now you qualify for $350,000. So we know not to look for houses that are over $350,000.
That's right.
To look for houses that are $350,000 or under. So that's really what a pre-qualification letter is for than anything, is so that you're not shopping around for something that's too expensive.
Right. Ko tipe wahang mahino ate mea ko hinga ko kia ka Brian ko hange pe ko kifa matala whatonga ato o kule rei mau pe te pre-qualification ke te ilo how much a property you have to buy. He ko tau ilo pe ka mea ko mi api ko mea whalanga ulu au pita pita. Ai whele reaki me ka real estate. Rua ki te nau kume api e whafofua ki he mea ko te lava ko whatau. Whika ua koe ke koe where reaki koe ke sio api koe, alosia api koe. O kui kai koe ki ngā o sisi, e au peka taimi. It's very tiring. Kai lava ke avoid e mea lahi ngai honi with the technology these days, mo e technology lava ke tokoni ke whakasisi iho stress, whakasisi e lere takai pai doing your homework. Ai koe tahai ngai homework ke whai, ko hono ave ho information ko talano be ka Brian pe tene hangareva e ya. But it's a good question, Eileen. Uhinga ko neongo ko question pe ya au ka e ma oi be fa fu e tau ka whanongo mono mahu inga ko pre-qualification is, to me, is the best step can you ever do, is to know where you at. Ya ka pate ke hu atu mahage pehe ko, okay, I got $1 million. Tuke, if you have the money to buy a cash, you don't need to go through all that. But waki $1 million na hapanke, you don't need to pre-qualify. Go talbe, Brian, I got $2 million. I want this house, and I want it now. There you go, money talk. That's what I call money talk. But if you only have 200,000 or even 100,000, 50,000 for down payment, then you're gonna have to go through that process. Paolo ke full go ia I pre-qualification ke lava ke ilo I Brian Hekapau. He wabahe kai. Brian won't have no idea who you are, what you want, and how much do you want. Go ahead, Brian. Eh? Brian, do you know how to talk Tongan by now? No.
Io.
Io. That's a good one. Io. And no?
I'm learning a little bit. I started to type some of my advertisements in Tongan.
There you go.
And
You
read
can
them
do
to
it
my wife.
both. You can do it both. So we can run the English on the Pacific station.
She makes fun of it though, so I don't think I'm that great.
Okay.
Another thing I'd like to bring up is I have on my website, and you guys can, if you want to, anybody out there is interested in this, you can actually text me and say you want this, and I can text it to you. It's called Experian Boost. Experian is one of the credit bureaus that when we pull your credit report, that's one of them one of the three that we use. And they have a program called Experian Boost where you can actually, they can look into your bank account and they can pull out different things that could actually boost your credit score. For example, if your rent payments and things like that, utilities, your cell phone bills, things like that, they can use that and they can actually use it, apply it to your credit score, your Experian credit score, and boost that credit score.
Okay.
And so, for example, your credit, say somebody's got a credit score, 620, but they, on Experian and they needed to get their credit score up a little bit. They've been, paying their cell phone bill with their credit card or something like that, or they've been paying through their checking account in their bank. What they could do is they can go with Experian Boost, and Experian Boost will go through your financial accounts and they'll pinpoint different bills and things that you've been paying that you could actually apply to the Experian Boost, and then it'll tell you how many points you can actually boost that credit score.
I think, Brian, that's a good information. That is a good information because I think there's other service that they can help you improve your credit by just paying certain amount, even $89 a month for nothing. But this information you're giving us, that would help.
Yeah, and this one's free.
Wow.
And it's the credit. It's one of the three credit bureaus themselves. So you've got TransUnion, Equifax, and then Experian. And Experian is the one that when you go to Credit Karma, it's the one of the three that's not used on Credit Karma because they prefer to do their own thing.
Right.
So you can actually find your credit score on Experian along with the Boost. You can look at your credit report from Experian on that website and everything. And
wow.
So. Yeah, I mean, if anybody's interested in that, you can just text me and I'll send that. I can text it to anybody that would want it. Right?
You just want to give Brian a call, so Brian can give you. Bueno, whare e taha ho ik makainga. Whirutaki ka Brian about o ko ki tō lalo ho krediti. Ko na ko te pe whunga taha lau ki post up e whi mata I whika ko ia. Tau pepe o pau ki ono ngeau, ke whima o ke aloha ke ono ngeau anoa, e lava pe he kautaha ko ni ke nau post it up. How long it still take the 6-month period, Brian, or no? To boost your credit score? Mm-hmm.
With the Experian Boost, it's going if it works. It didn't work for me because I only had the cell phone on the checking account, but if it works for you, it's going to be instantaneous. It's not going to take forever. It's going to take 5 minutes. Wow. I send you the link, you plug in your information on your phone, and there.
Yeah, that's what...
It's going to tell you whether you can do it or not.
Thank you, Brian. Prince Wallace saying that's one of the easiest and free way to boost your credit, friends. See the experience coming in, Emily. Thank you for the information. I think that's a very good information to help people that trying to get from 600 to 620 or 650 And people like me still at 400 or minus 400, I think. Anyway, anything else, Brian? Because we only got 9 minutes.
Well,
Tell us
I'd like to
anything
talk a
that
little
you
bit
wanna.
about the down payment assistance program real quick,
Okay,
just
go
to
for
give you a
it.
good idea of
Sure.
what we have. Uh, so I plugged in, for example, Sacramento city, and I
Okay.
put in the estimated sales price for a house is 450,000, and it popped up 10 programs are available
Okay.
for down payment assistance.
Hmm.
So if we go to, let's see, San Mateo. If we did San Mateo, it would have the same 10 programs on there for that price. And then if you goes from different place from place. Elk Grove, California, has about 12 programs. So all you have to do is type in the city and then a couple other questions, and it's going to tell you how many programs are available in your area. And then to find out the programs, you click on it. It's going to send me an email, and I'll call you and let you know what programs are available in that area.
Okay.
And
So they can go into your website at www.brianterrelllending.company.
lending.company.
Thank you, Lola Lampasita, for bringing it up. That's Emily. So, pia ke taipe ai, a elia ko ke fia mau ke whatau api ai. Hanga mea ka nga Brian na ne pehe, hanga saka mena o koe na api ai ke, 400,000. Pia o kiai a ngahi po kalama ke hei ai e hongo fulu that you can choose from. What else, Brian? And you can do that in San Mateo County and
anywhere in California,
Okay.
you can do that. And so I've gone through most of the cities in California and the counties and the different programs available. So I've clicked on the ones that I'm approved with,
Okay.
and I've called up for the county ones and the city ones. I've called up, and some of them are very picky about what lenders they use, and some of them are just like, for example, there's a city up here called Grass Valley. And I called them up and asked them, what lenders do you guys require? And they're, any lender. I thought, that's
wow.
cool. And they
Cool.
offer up to $12,000. And then there's some of these programs that can, what's called stacked. You don't have to use just one program. And depending on the programs you pick, some of them allow you to stack another program on top of it. So it doesn't have to be just the one program. It could be 2 or 3 programs stacked on top of each other to give you a little bit more equity in the house. And then some of these are loans that you'd have to pay back. Some of them are considered tax credits. I know in the Bay Area, a lot of them are more geared towards tax credits where you're going to be able to take a big tax write-off from your income taxes in the next year. And then some of them are grants that you can actually, you don't have to pay back. You just have to pay on the loan for 3 years, and then you don't have any obligations to pay it back or anything.
Okay, Brian, it sounds like you got a lot of information, and any given time you have a chance to come in, we appreciate the information because sharing as much information in regard to real estate as well as finance is always welcome for those who want to move forward in life with purchasing their first home. And there's so many different programs that can fit whoever that is. Not everybody's the same, and not every financial finance are the same as well. So I think we ran out of time already, but I thank you very, very much, Tamasi Lapaha, for bringing this information, and of course working together with VAKE Tali FOLAU. I'll give you the last word, Brian. Thank you.
So if you guys are you can text me 530-680-0631 if you want to get that experience boost. I'll send that to you. I'll have it available on my phone so I can just send it to anybody in the next 10 minutes. And if you guys want help with the down payment assistance programs, I can help you with that. I can help you with, basically we can just go from you're renting. We're gonna try to see if we can get you from renting to buying a house without the mortgage shock, which higher payments and things like that. We're gonna try as best as we can to make it so you can walk into your new house and not have to put out so much money to get in.
There you go. I think, Brian, that is very important. I forgot about that program. This other program that help you to konyat ko down payment, and you don't have to pay it right now. Brian, I think we got a lot to talk about. It's been so long that you didn't come in, but now you did. You did, and I think we need to do this again next week, maybe, or maybe sometimes this week, so we can look at the other program that they will help with the down payment. And I know we talk about that in San Francisco and certain other places. But I thank you very, very much. O whalahiato kia koe mo e family.
Right.
Mo e whanau. Koia pe.
Bye.
Malo o whato. Vake Tali Folau. Brian Terrell. Pea te ke lava pe ko kolosi ki ene website ti ko tui mahalo ko e whaingo fua taha ia kia te koe o i makainga ko kolosi ki e www.brianterrell.lending.company kana be i ta website ka mau i whema whehui te la whetudang mai kia Emily te ne ato e ia ai whakaikiki ko ia pea i ene pehe o te ne kore whamoremore i he ki taimi ko ia ko mao pe mao i he ho atani ko ia ko ki whatongia nge whahoko pa i ne pehe ko ata o whalahi mo tolu Emily kamata right away at Texas when an auto clear me vinato he wa oh they'll start right away karo ko whamai mea Emily tau kolosi e begi Texas whahoko mai nao mai kalama ate o whalahi mo tolu Prince Walla thank you pehe ki ho whineiki o whalahi atu mo all the 6,400 stars wow keke mea ka lahi e toka mo i whie toko o whalahi mo tolu ka pehe ki manako mataele e seta Esta Taylor Maile Meliane o whalahi mo tolu and everybody vika hei lala tui halangi malo whalahi mo tolu ka mo si mea o mo mea toi pe ki Texasi ko au sene tuala heli pea mo hai gai ki kaunanga ni yo tawhaki to hema really can you acknowledge a little bit
O whalai at gamoto, te nao toki te lo ngoaki ai fiaki, whatawang pigi mo mao a holele i a honi, ka o gaya o whatu ka mo mea, te lo kilo ngake nai ko e merito.
mo mea